My name's Matt Harris and I'm a consultant in critical care and emergency medicine. So I met Paul when he was brought to the resuscitation room in the emergency department. Paul had presented with some chest pain and he'd had a heart tracing performed which showed that he was having a severe heart attack. And one of my colleagues had recognised this and promptly brought him to the resuscitation room where I took over his care. Once he arrived in the resuscitation room, we attached Paul to our monitoring, we inserted a cannula, we took some bloods and we gave him some medication.
I was sat at work in my office at the desk working where I felt actually not too good, quite hot and perhaps indigestion pains more than anything. I went to the gents' toilets where it was nice and cool, thinking that that would perhaps make me feel better, and went back to my office and sat down and carried on working, where I became perhaps a little bit more hotter. The pain actually wasn't going away. The first aider decided to put me in the car and bring me down to Kingsmill Hospital.
The first moment that I was aware of him was when somebody thrust a heart tracing in front of me. That's called an ECG. And it was an ECG that I looked at and thought, I need to do something about this now. And sometimes the heart tracing may not show very much, but in other cases the heart tracing can give you evidence that somebody's having a heart attack, a myocardial infarction, a blockage of the arteries around the heart. And in some people, on that electrical tracing, what you can see is that they're having a big one. I think we can say that Paul was having a big one.
It was like a very dark dream, which I could hear things, but couldn't see any vision. And the last thing that I could perhaps remember coming round was somebody saying, "Stand clear." And the critical care team were all around dealing with me. At that stage, that critical care consultant did actually inform me that I'd had a heart attack. I would be actually transferred to the cardiac unit at Nottingham City Hospital. You know, being told that I'd got heart failure and 40%, have I lost sort of 60% of my heart? I was writing myself off at that stage.
My experience has been that people in A&E have been really, really good at explaining things, and I've always been really amazed at how much time they've spent with us when they're in such a busy working environment. On
a couple of visits sort of after that to A&E, it was fully explained to me a little bit more, and we all sort of run at around a 55%, you know, which is only a 15% deterioration, you know, in the damage to my heart. I think also the rehabilitation side and gym work that I did actually at the hospital was second to none and fantastic. A 6-week sort of period, you know, doing gym work.
It was also really good that it gave you the confidence that you could do things.
Absolutely.
Because I think that was something that was really hard when you first came home.
I think one of the things Paul's story demonstrates is the importance of recognising the symptoms of a heart attack and acting on them promptly. These symptoms include chest pain, and typically the chest pain is felt in the centre of the chest. It's described as a heaviness. It can spread upwards into the neck, the jaw and down the arm. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it can feel different to that. Sometimes it can feel like indigestion. Other symptoms of a heart attack might be feeling short of breath, it might be feeling sick, might be feeling sweaty, clammy, it might be feeling lightheaded. And I think one of the other things that Paul's story demonstrates is that when patients have a cardiac arrest, the vital importance of early recognition, early cardiopulmonary resuscitation, and in appropriate cases, early defibrillation to achieve the best possible outcomes for the patient.
So glad that I'm here to tell the story, I think, more than anything.